Amy. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I do a white, no excuse me, not a white, but a yellow flower design on this green glass bottle. I have washed it with soap and water, cleaned it off with rubbing alcohol so it's ready to go. Make sure that you do clean your bottles or your glassware nicely and get the any kind of grime, dirt, dust, whatever off of them before you paint. That will give them the best opportunity to have a good adherence of the paint. Alright, so I'm going to be using a number 10 Amagic flat brush. I am going to be using Filbert brushes on this one. It's a number 10 one-stroke Filbert brush. And then a number 6 low Cornell Filbert brush. You can use any Filbert brushes that you have. You don't have to use what I'm using. Then a dotting stylus. Paint I'm using on this design is Moon Yellow. All of it is FolkArt enamels and MultiSurface. That's a combination of the two. Using Pale Yellow, Wicker White, Real Brown, Classic Green, and Fresh Foliage. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using the number 10 Filbert brush for my floral design and the number 6 low Cornell, but I'm going to start off with the larger of the two to begin. This design is going to be an example of what I talk about when I say if you don't want to do a vine and you want to just do the floral part and add leaves around it, this is what I'm referring to. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I am going to be doing, for the first one here is a combination of the Wicker White and the Pale Yellow. And I'm just going to do a few flowers here. And I'm just going to be randomly placing these petals just as I go around, kind of leaving a space. That's fine if you want to leave a space. You can even make them a little smaller if you want to have them a little closer together. They don't have to be the same size or the same height. It's actually better if you kind of do more of a random type strokes and sizes. I think that just gives it more interest. That's my personal opinion, of course. If you feel differently, then do what you're comfortable with. Alright, and I'm just going to do threes. I like to work in threes, and this is just for the purpose of this video. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing over here. Not going to do any buds. All these are going to be open flowers. And then what I'm going to do is dip into the Moon Yellow, do a little bit of blending strokes, and then come back over this. Now, just so that you know, the thicker you place your paint on, the more durable that's going to make it. If you just put light coatings, they are not going to hold up well. Now when you're doing it on a bottle, and I apologize, my air conditioning just started. When you're doing it on a bottle, it's not as important as it would be if you were doing it on a wine glass or something that's going to be used and washed frequently. Luckily with this, that's not going to happen. It'll be just a home decor piece, maybe something that's dusted periodically. I mean, that's about it. So, anyways, if you have any questions while I'm doing this, please put those down below underneath the video. Can you see yourself getting friends together and painting? Have you done that anytime recently? I just think it's so much fun to have craft nights with your friends. Used to do that every week with a group of friends that I had at the time. Miss that dearly. I mean, so far they're cute. Just something fun, very easy, simple. My designs are intended to be that way on purpose. Now I'm going to go back in with this little brush and put a center group of petals in here. And you can even make them longer. If you want them to actually come out here a little bit more, you can do that. I'm just doing them just kind of small. And you can actually, on these two, kind of stagger them to where they're not all the same length. That's nice too. Like that. Put another one in the center like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the bigger ones. Come back in with the moon yellow. Again, keeping in mind this will help make it more durable, because you'll have more coats of paint on it. You could also do it where you put it on, a heat gun or a hair dryer or such, in order to give it some drying time before you go on with another coat. That's strictly up to you. Not 100% necessary, but again, up to you. Okay, and we'll just keep going. Again, you can see how easy this is. I like to encourage people to be creative and see how easy it is, and I think it's a good stress reliever. For me it is. I like creativity. I know not everybody's the same, I get that. But I think if you can find something, whether it's painting or drawing, whatever it might be, that can help you naturally calm yourself, as opposed to drinking and medicating. Those are pretty, just pretty. I'm getting a lot of paint, so I'm scraping some of the paint off my brush, and I'm going to go at it again. I'm just going to keep going around. And do all these. If you like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up before you leave. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And also make sure that you share this video on your social network with all your family and friends. Super easy to do. Just hit the share button that you'll find underneath the video when you're done watching it, and hit the share button and it'll give you all the options of where you can share it. Simple as that. Alright, next up, we're going to start doing, I'm just going to do some simple dots in the center. Just very random and in the center. Now, if you want to leave a unpainted space in the center to do this on, you certainly can. I didn't strive either way. If there's a part of an open spot, that's awesome. If not, that's fine too. I'm just doing it very randomly. Alright. And again, you can fill these up with dots as much as you want, or you can go as light as you want. And I am just going to continue going over them as they're wet. And if you want to give it drying time and do that, you can do that too. If I were selling this bottle, I would paint this design all the way around it. When I do the wine bottles, I typically do the design all the way around and not just on the front, but for the purpose of the video, I am just doing it on the front. I don't want my video to be too long. And I'm going to come in here and put some of that yellow in there. Just make it stand out a little more. I like it. And there are other ways that you could do this too, as far as painting, like say the one color and then going over and painting the other color and so on. I just decided to do it more like the one stroke kind of style, which is fine. Alright, for the next step I'm going to do the classic green and the real brown on one side, the school bus yellow and the fresh foliage on the other side. Just trying to give it a good, a little bit different colors, you know, just using them to mix them up a little bit. And here we go. So I am just doing the basic wiggle. I always call these wiggle leaves. I'm sure they have another name to them, a more professional name to them, but for my video, they're wiggle leaves. Alright, so I go like that. On this, they may not be all the same because I am just kind of mixing them as I go, so they might vary, and I also may vary them. I might go over this just one more time. Sorry. Trying to do this too without hitting the other side. And I just want to make sure that I don't have any openings in my paint as I do this, because sometimes when you do the wiggling it may separate the paint a little bit. So that's why I went over it again, because I knew there was a little bit of a separation. And I'm going to do this, and on this one I am going to spend some time just kind of reversing these a little bit so they're not all the same. I mean, they might be the same as far as the style, but they're not going to be the same as far as how they're created. And then I'm going to come down here like that, and I keep putting a little hole in here. I put the stems. I don't like that so much. I'm going to go over it, put it back in, but maybe not so far, just really lightly. There we go. Alright, trying again to keep it from touching. Alright, and then I'm going to do this one like this, and go like this. And then I'm going to do the lighter on one side. Going over this, so I did pull up some yellow, which is fine, like that. And then put the stem in. When you do this kind, if you don't feel like you want a stem because it kind of separates it and makes it a little bit like a stem, then that's fine too. Just leave it be. Alright, going to do a darker one up here. And then I'm just going to keep the dark on the outsides on this one. And you can keep going with this when you're wiggling. I kind of stopped a little bit there just to close up. I keep doing that. Close up the separation in the paint as I'm wiggling it. I just don't want that to be so big in the center there. I'll do it a little nicer, maybe not so long. Very easy to fix. You know, if you don't like the way something looks, paint over it, or you know what, you can wipe it off. Alright, so I'm going to do the lighter one on this side. And then the darker on this side. This gives it a little bit of a different look. I'm just going to leave that one, it's okay. But just see how simple, I mean this is so pretty. I'm going to do another one over here. Let's do a, well you know what, I'm going to go up here. Oh, I got some green up here. I've never painted on this bottle, so I'm not really sure why. Alright, let's do, and make sure I have a little difference here, get you on video. So watch that. It's going to be light on both sides. A little bit of brown in the center. Wiggled it in, and here we go, like that. Again, just very, 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 very simple. And some of these flowers have more. I'm going to go ahead and do another one under here. And I can make them a little bit smaller so that I can fit another leaf down here around it. Now this one had a tendency to go over the writing that's down here on the bottom. I turned it so it's a little cracked at the bottom here because it has that writing down at the bottom of the bottle. Just very lightly. Alright, so that has a couple, and I'm probably good to go right now. I think that looks nice. Just very pretty. Pretty and happy cherry. I like it. Alright, if you like this design, like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. New to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And share this video on your social network with all your family and friends before you go. Thanks again so very much for stopping by. I do appreciate you. If you want to stick around, take some time to watch some of my other videos, I would love to have you. And until the next time, please stay safe and healthy, and you have a good one.